Hello? Hello, hello? Okay. Looks like things are all working. What's up? I'm Daisy. I'm once again here trying to teach myself to code. Streaming to no one, but I'm still thinking of this sort of as like a video, log, a video, what's the word? A video diary. No, that's not right. Trying to just record my journey here for fun and for motivation and stuff and all that. But the theme of today is once again trying to get to bed early. I keep doing this before I go to bed because that's kind of when I have the energy for it. But I think in the future I'll try to, try to change my sleep schedule around a bit and not be staying up way too late. But today right now it is 12:45, 12:44. So I started streaming before 1 a.m. So that's progress. That's pretty good. I'm gonna try to keep it short today. Again, yesterday I was playing that Ilara game on Steam. That was lots of fun. I'm probably gonna recommend that game in the future. I highly recommend that. It was lots of fun. Apparently I looked into that. It's just they have like a Patreon and everything. You can play it in the browser. You don't have to download it on Steam. It's like they teach you a language called Rhai, RHAI, which I've never heard of, but I don't know, it's a pretty cool project. I hope they get more popular in the future. Their last update was like months ago, but it seems like all their updates have months in between, so I don't know if they're still working on it, but they might still be. I hope so. Yeah, so today I'm gonna start with free code camp, and yeah, we're probably gonna try not to get way too caught up. Yesterday that game kind of like sucked me in, so I definitely was streaming longer than I intended to. Yeah, so Python. Oh right, yeah, so says I've completed a bunch of these, but I need to sort of, and then these ones I think are newer because they're not completed yet, but I'm gonna go into the settings here and delete my progress, I think, because the only thing I have like actual progress in is the Python for Everybody legacy course. Oh yeah, and I kind of want to turn this campfire mode on. That could be fun. Yeah. It adds the pleasant sound of acoustic guitar throughout the website. You'll get musical feedback. Okay. I hope OBS picked that up. Oh no, I have the audio down like all the way. Wait. Let's see. Yeah, that's fun. It didn't look like it was very loud, but that's good. I'm not trying to have things be louder than me talking. Oh yeah, and then down here in the danger zone, we're gonna reset all my progress. This will permanently delete and reset all the following. Progress through each step and challenge. All completed challenges will be lost. Any saved code and certification project code, all completed and claimed certification. You'll be effectively set back to the very first day you signed up. Okay, I agree that all progress will be lost. Man, that's a pretty big, they want to make sure you're absolutely certain. Yeah, if I really want my progress back, I can just go, like, rewatch. I don't even have to rewatch all the videos, I just have to, like, look at all of them and answer, like, one question per video, and then I'll get my progress back for the video course, but I don't think I really need to do that. Okay, reset everything. I want to start from the very beginning. Heck yeah. Oh, and I did a little guitar thing. That's fun. This is a fun site. Start leading now. Okay. So we'll start with Python, even though you're definitely not supposed to do that. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I struggle a bunch, I might try and go back, because I think they intended you to do these first 3 things first, but I don't really want to do that. I like Python. Well, so far I like Python. I guess I have nothing to really compare it to except C, which is also nice. Oh boy, I guess I'm going to be reading a lot. I might try to like speed read. I'm not going to, because of this stuff I already know, I don't want to just be like reading it all aloud. What the heck? It does a little guitar thing for like everything. Okay. Okay. Libraries like Pandas and NumPy and TensorFlow and Scikit. Working with AI models more accessible. I like the idea of AI models. I think AI can be kind of lame in a lot of ways, but like understanding how it works is very fascinating to me, at least, unless it turns out to be boring once I understand it for real. But I don't know. Instagram and Pinterest use Python on the back end. Okay, Python's back end. Cybersecurity professionals and ethical hackers. That's cool. It runs well on microcomputers. Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is cool. Lots of IoT projects. Okay. Neat. Automation. One of its biggest strengths is automation. I like automation. I have a book called Automate the Boring Stuff with Python, but I never really read it. Maybe I should give one of those books a look through before trying all this. Another time, though. Data analysis. Oh, I ignored that part. Pandas and NumPy. Yeah. How is Python used in embedded systems and IoT? Goddamn. Yeah, I guess I will have to kind of read these if I want to. Data science and machine learning, web developing, scripting and automation, embedded systems, IoT. Wait, what? How is it used in embedded systems and IoT? Actually, it doesn't. I don't know. Jeez, this is gonna take longer than I thought. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted all my... I mean, I was gonna reread this anyway. Main language data science and machine learning engineers currently use. Well, that's good. I don't... Oh, good grief. I don't know, man. Okay, it's not that. That's... I mean, this is true. It's primarily used for designing UI components. It replaces... Okay, these 3 just aren't true. I guess I should have just used the process of elimination right from the beginning. Which Python frameworks are used in development? TensorFlow, in development. Let's set that up here. Or did it? Django, FastAPI, and Flask. Django, FastAPI, Flask. Okay, good, sweet, okay. In the last lesson, you learned that Python is and what you could do with it. Let's see if you can run it on your machine. I have Python installed already, so I don't want to do any of this. Yeah, okay, which addresses can you download from Python? Jeez, okay. Alright, python.org. I guess that should have been kind of obvious. And you added path automatically by checking the add to path. I actually remember that because that was kind of annoying. Well, not annoying, but it ended up being an issue for me. What kind of file do you download while installing Python for Windows? An executable? I don't know, man. Yeah. Yep. Executable. Sweet. Awesome. Fantastic. Amazing. Incredible job. Alright, understanding variable and data types. How do you declare variables, and what are naming conventions to name variables? Python variables are like a labeled box for storing and referencing different data types. To declare variables Python, you assign the value. You don't need special keywords like less, let, or const in JavaScript, or char in C. Car. I guess, yeah, earlier, I guess I was supposed to do JavaScript first, so they are just letting us know. Okay, let's just, which of the following is correct way to declare just age equals 25? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I should be reading this stuff, but it's literally all things I just know already. Which of these is not a rule for naming variables? Start with a letter or an underscore. I mean, that's not, I mean, yeah, that's true, right? They aren't case sensitive. I know that. They can't use Python reserved words. Oh, wait, that is true. That is true. Wait, not a rule. Case sensitive. They can contain letter numbers and underscores. They must start with a letter or an underscore. I don't think that's true either. They are case sensitive. That just seems like it's not a rule. Okay, I'm gonna try and really quickly read through all this just in case any of it is like important stuff I've forgotten. Nope. No. Yeah, see. Variables can only start with a letter or underscore, not a number. Okay. We'll throw a syntax error. Okay, yeah, so it can't be reserved keywords. Common naming conventions, they separate things with an underscore. Unlike FreeCodeCamp, whose name is in camel case, lowercase f, but a capital C and other C. User age is better than age, or an abbreviation like UA. Okay. What do you mean by X? Symbol. Okay, comments. Like it says, you might already be familiar with comments, so let's go over them quickly. So it's like, it does assume that there's people like me just skipping to the Python part. Because if anyone did the JavaScript part, they probably would know exactly what comments are. Okay, yeah, alright, so it's this. They're not case sensitive. Why should you avoid single letter? They don't communicate the purpose. Yeah. They use more memory than longer variable names. Why would that even be true? Okay. Print function. Just hello world. And learn more about strings. Consider those. Python automatically adds a space in between each item when you separate them with commas. Okay. This helps if you want to print several pieces of information together. Okay. Well, that's good. Why does the following code print all the values on the same line with spaces? Because separating with commas and print adds spaces between them. That's literally... Okay. It adds spaces by default. Yeah, okay. Why would the following output of the code be hello world? Right? Not that. Nope. Yeah, okay. What is the purpose of the quotation marks on hello world? The following code. They define a string to be printed by the string function. Okay. What are common data types and how do you get the type of a variable? This might actually be kind of useful to reread. For working variables, understand data types. Type of value a variable holds. Dynamically typed like JavaScript, meaning you don't need to explicitly declare types for variables. The language knows what data type a variable is. Okay, yeah. String, name, go, int. The dynamic typing nature of Python makes coding really fast and more flexible, but can lead to unexpected bugs because type errors are detected only when a program runs, not when the program compiles. Oh. Okay. Well, that... Alright. I didn't know that. You'd think it, like, wouldn't be able to compile. Okay. Determines data types while your program is running. Type-related mistakes are only discovered at that moment. When a program runs, Python executes your code line by line, like an interpreted language. If it reaches a line where a certain object is expected to behave in a way it's not able to, Python will stop and show an error. In contrast, some languages compile your program before it runs. Compiling means the computer checks your code in advance and prepares it to run. During this step, those languages can catch type errors before the program even starts. That just sounds better. You don't need to know those languages yet. The important idea is simply in Python, type errors can reveal themselves during execution when the program is actually running and using your code. Compiled languages catch type errors during the compile step before the program is allowed to run. Okay. Gotta look into compiled languages to learn, because that just sounds like a better way of doing things. I don't know though. Maybe there's pros and cons. I just don't know about yet. Integer, float, string. Yeah, we've been through this. Boolean, set, an unordered collection of unique elements, like 4, 2, and 0. Okay. Wait, so set? So is a set like a list or a dictionary or a tuple or an array, or is a list? A set is, okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, see. Okay, so I guess, okay, a tuple like is in parentheses. A list is in these brackets. A dictionary is in the curly brackets, but it has the colons. It has the key and values, whereas these don't have a key and values, but they're also in curly brackets. That's good to keep in mind, I guess. Let's see. Range. List. Ranges are just what happens when you use a for loop, right? Or maybe they're separate. It's one of those things where the specifics are different. None, a special value that represents the absence of a value. The type just tells you. Okay. The built-in isInstance function lets you check if a variable matches a specific data type. It takes an object, takes in an object and the type you want to check it against, then returns a boolean. Okay. Alright. isInstance true boolean. Okay. Let's see. Python does not. Python automatically determines based on the type of the assigned variable. Value. What's the difference between integer and float? Yes. Floats take up less memory than integers. How can you check the data? Okay, isInstance. Type of. By using the type function. Wait, what? By using the type function, use type myvar. What? Oh, okay, this is type. To get the data type of a variable. Oh, okay, isInstance is like a boolean, specifically true or false. Whereas type is how you do that. Okay, cool. Neat, we're making fantastic progress. Build a report card printer? Oh boy. What time is it? It's only 1 a.m. Okay. Okay, I think we can do this. In this workshop, you will practice Python data types by building a simple report card printer. As you learn the various lessons, the variables are assigned this way. In the example above, the variable greeting has the value of a string, which is a sequence of characters surrounded by quotes. Create a variable called name assigned to the string Alice. Remember to surround the value with either single or double quotes. Python uses indentation to organize code. For this workshop, make sure there are no extra spaces at the start of the line of the code. It will cause an indentation error and prevent your code from running. Alright, so name equals Alice. Cool, that's, I mean, is that That's all. Congratulations, your code passes. Fantastic. I mean, oh, okay, submit and continue. I was like, where? Print the value of the variable using the print function. Print greeting. Okay, you will learn more about functions. For now, know that a function is a reusable block of code that be called, invoked to run its code. Arguments can be passed in. Can be passed to it. The example will go, print greeting is a function call, greeting is the argument. Refer to the example and print the name variable. Oh, okay. Wait, what is it saying on the right there? Oh, it's just immediately showing if there's errors or anything. Print name. Let's go. You should now see the student name printed in the terminal. You can use the type of value. Okay, platform, type platform. The example above, the output, means that the variable passed to the type function is a string. Use type function with name as its argument and print out the output like in the example. Check the output in the terminal that shows the name. Okay. So print. What am I doing? Type. Come on. Name. Perfecto. Report card should show whether the student is currently enrolled. I kind of thought this would take longer. This can be represented using a Boolean value. The Boolean value represents a yes or no condition. They're often used to make decisions in code. There are only two values, true and false. Declare a variable named is student and assign it the value true. Okay. Does that literally mean I just... Do I have to... I wonder if it's case sensitive. Let's test it. Name error true is not defined. Okay, well, I like that. I like that it's very... It's just immediately is giving me feedback on that so I wouldn't have to check. Congratulations. The print function can display more than one value at a time. Separate values with a comma and print them on the same line. Subject, type, subject. Oh, okay. I didn't know that actually. Print it both is student and type. I think I did know that on some level, but I didn't have it spelled out to me like that. Print. Oh boy. Okay, feeling sleepy, but that's good. That means means I shouldn't have too much trouble getting to bed on time. Oh boy. Sorry, sort of zoned out there. I just like swallowed and then noticed that my mic is picking that up. So I gotta work on that later. I need to put more time into the whole like audio quality thing. Maybe my noise suppressor needs to be different or something. Oh boy. Okay. Print both is student and type is student on the same line. Using a comma as shown in the example. Then type the output in the terminal. Then check the output in the terminal that shows the value of his student and its type. Alright, I'm just gonna say print. That's not correct. Print is. Oh my lordy. What am I even? I need to go back to typing school. If that's a thing. I think it's not. Print is student. Do I need spaces? Type is student. Okay, so you don't need spaces. Can I have spaces? You can. I mean, it's putting spaces in the example. Maybe that's just considered more Pythonic, so to speak. I'm assuming. Because they could have been using camel case. But they said to underscore things, and I'm pretty sure that's how Pythonistas do it. Anyway. Yep, you passed. Oh my lord. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind little interruptions like this. Acquire skills faster. Sweet. He's certified. Help millions of people learn. See, I'm wondering, honestly, if I should, like, get certification. If I did that, I would need to, like, put my name into this site and, like, probably use my other email, like, a more, like, official email. So, like, maybe I'll do that. I'd have to either switch the email or make a completely different account. Or I might just do none of that and just use this for, learning but not certifying. But it is pretty cool that this site can, like, certify you. I hope they gain more credibility. I mean, I think people take this site pretty seriously as it is, but, I hope there are people getting employment just by having free code camp certifications, because that's pretty cool. I heard they were working on like, creating a completely accredited computer science degree and putting it all on this site. But that sounds like quite an undertaking. Student name should follow the same format as the other details. Remove the earlier outputs of the name variable, then print name and type name together on one line separated by a comma. What? Yeah, this is another reason I should probably start doing this in the day. Like, I should probably start studying after waking up. I mean, I've heard your brain retains things pretty well if you learn them and then go to sleep right after. But, like, it's kind of tough to study, like, when you're sleepy. It's weird. I have, like, mental energy in the middle of the night, but I'm still sleepy. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a snake eating its own tail or something. And student name should follow the same format as the other details. Remove the earlier outputs of the name variable. What does that mean? Remove the earlier outputs. Oh, I guess it just, that's probably why it's highlighting this part. Then print name and type name together on one line separated by a comma. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Print name type name. That's correct, right? Yeah, okay. You need to add the student's age to the report card. For that, you'll be using an integer, one of the numeric data types in Python. Jeez, I keep on, like, zoning out, kinda. My brain is not firing on all cylinders. It never really is. Not recently. I'm in sleep debt. I'm gonna try to sleep, like, over 8 hours today, if that's possible. If I can. Declare a variable. Wait, I'm adding their age. Okay, declare a variable named age and assign it to the integer value. Or assign it the integer value 20. I can do that. Oh, I completely failed immediately. Okay. Then print the value and data type of age together separated by a comma. Check the output in terminal that shows the age and its type. Okay. What am I doing? Print age type age. As far as this stuff goes, early on, I think I was learning more from that Ilara game, but I think that game can only go so far. It'd be good for practicing, like, doing actual stuff using coding. Because, you know, it's really not about trying to memorize all this syntax. It's about, like, doing stuff and trying to solve problems. And, you know, then a game like that can help you be motivated to, like, actually solve problems. But I might just try it out on my free time, or just go back to it when I've got, like, after I've done a lot of this stuff. As far as, like, learning concepts, though, it's all just things I already understand. Whereas this, we're just dipping our toes in the water here, so it's a bit too early to judge. Actually, the fact that they added, like, even easier... Because I remember the last time I was on the site, it starts off with something a bit more difficult with this, but it immediately gives you pretty, like, basic stuff early on to, like, type out yourself. I really like interactive stuff like this. I think that's the best way you can learn. Aside from actually just jumping in and coding on your own. Check. Yeah, okay. Now add the student's score. Declare a variable named score and assign it the value 80.5. Okay. Okay. What is it? 80.5. Yeah, I definitely am not great with typing numbers without looking at the keyboard. I have to kind of, like, just use my eyes to type in that case. What am I doing? Okay. Although both age and score are numbers, they may not be the same kind. Python provides a function called isInstance to check this. Okay, use isInstance to check whether score is an int and print the result to the terminal as shown in the example above. Okay. isInstance, or I started too soon. It wants me to print it. Okay. No, I know. It's not closed. Okay. Trace back. Line 11. isInstance expected 2 arguments got 1. Oh, right, yeah. isInstance uses a comma. Let's say, okay, score, comma, int, false. Wait, it's not an integer? It's a score integer. Why is it not? Oh, it's a float. What am I talking about? I thought it was saying it's not a number. I forgot that integers are specifically non-decimal numbers. The output is false. The score is not an int. Another kind of number in Python is a float, which represents a number with decimals. Replace int with float. Okay. Well, that's kind of... Alright. Sweet. Alright, the output is true. Confirming score is a float. Complete the report card by printing score value along with the type using a single print statement. Print score type score. Yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. We did it. Let's post it to Twitter. Let's post it on X and Blue Sky. Not doing that. I proudly don't have a Twitter. I made one once, so it's like X now, x.com. I made a Twitter once, and then I never ever used it, or like went on the site, and then it got hacked. And then they emailed me to tell me that it was like blocked because of suspicious activity. And then I got it back, but I still haven't been back on it. That was like very recently, like this month. What are strings and what is string immutability? Is this whole thing gonna be... Okay. Yes, I'm gonna read all this and maybe get into this stuff tomorrow. This is all simple enough. This is all stuff I basically know, but you know, it never hurts to do some more review. I feel like I gain a little bit of something with every review. Okay, here's strings. You need a multi-line string, use triple. You can use triple double quotes or single quotes. Oh, see, okay, I've never heard of that. I've never even seen this. So this isn't all just review, I'm learning things. Okay. It's weird. Wait, so why would it need to be a multi-line string? I mean, I guess that's why I've never heard of it, because I imagine this isn't used all that often, but that's weird. So you just do 3. Okay. You have 2 options. If your string either contains single or double quotation marks, you have 2 options. Use the opposite kind of quotes. That said, if it contains single quotes, use double quotes to wrap the string, and vice versa. She said, "Hello world." I also did not know. I've seen this where they use double quotes so they can put an apostrophe because it's the same as a single quote, but I didn't realize you could do it the other way too. But yeah, that would be necessary if part of your string was a quote. You'd normally put double quotes. Okay. Escape the single or double quotation mark in the string, the backslash. With this method, you can use either single or double quotation marks to wrap the string itself. Oh, I've never heard of that either. So if you put a backslash in front of it, it just doesn't count. Like it says escape the single or double quotation mark. I also was not aware of that terminology. That's how you make it not talk about it. Or not include it. Sometimes you may need to check if a string contains one or more characters. For that, Python provides the in operator, which returns a boolean that specifies whether or not it exists. I'm glad I actually read this. I'm learning completely new things. Okay, now let's look at how you can get through the length of a string and work with the individual characters in a string, a process called indexing. Okay, to get the length of a string, you can use the built-in len function. Here's an example. Very cool, very nice, very interesting. Each character in a string has a position called an index. The index is 0-based, meaning that the index in the first one is 0, yeah, just like lists. A string kind of works like a list when you're doing it for all intents and purposes. To access a character by its index, you use square brackets with the index of the character you want to access. Here are examples. Oh, it just prints whatever it is in this case. But that's sort of like a function. I mean, print is a function, that's for sure. This is like, I guess that's just called indexing, yeah. Negative indexing is also allowed, so you can get the last character of any string with -1, the second to last with -2. What about -0? I'm guessing that's just not a thing. So when you're going backwards, it's basically not 0-based. Wait, is that what it's called? 0-based? The index is 0-based, yeah. I think someone in that Python for Everybody course, I think he called this like sub-0, sub-6 when you do this. I might be thinking of something else though, so I don't wanna lock that into my mind and then get confused later. Many other programming languages group data types broadly as either primitive or reference types. Many other programming languages group data types broadly as primitive or reference. Primitive types are simple and immutable, meaning they can't be changed once declared. Okay, simple and immutable. Reference types can hold multiple values and are either mutable or immutable, but Python doesn't draw a hard line between those two groups. Okay. Instead, all data gets treated as objects, and some objects are immutable while others are mutable. All data gets treated as objects. We learned a little bit about like the general gist of objects in the learnpython.org thing before it got all confusing. Immutable data types can't be modified or altered once they're declared. Yeah, Python's an object-oriented language, and a lot of the high-level languages I think are object-oriented. I think it's like a pillar of high-level programming in general. That's why C++ is considered high-level, even though it's like also low-level. Immutable data types can't be modified or altered. Wait, so if they're all treated as objects, does that mean they're all not simple? Like they all can hold multiple values? Immutable data types can't be modified or altered once they're declared, like a tuple. You can point their variables at something new, which is called reassignment. You can point the variables at something new? Okay, which is called reassignment, but you can't change the original object itself by adding, removing, or replacing any of its elements. Strings are immutable data types in Python. And they are immutable. This means that you can reassign a different string to a variable, but direct modification of a string isn't allowed. Okay, so type error, string does not support item assignment, but you can just switch it to hello. Okay. Examples of other immutable data types in Python are integer, float, boolean, tuple, and range. You'll get to know each of these types in upcoming lessons. Alright then. How do you get the length of a string? The string s. Len s. A string doesn't have a length, okay? s.len. These ones are like those actually, a lot of these multiple choice things are kind of easy, but these might throw a loop for some people. Not if you've been actually reading this stuff though. How do you define a multi-line string in Python? Using triple double quotes or triple single quotes? Using the backslash at the end of each line. What does it mean that a string is immutable? Variable cannot be reassigned to a different string. Variable reassignment directly modifies the original string. The string cannot be directly modified by changing its individual characters. That one's true. String characters can be directly modified only under specific conditions. Not true. Alright. When working with different strings, combining different pieces of text together is a common operation you'll find yourself dealing with. In Python, you can combine multiple strings together with the plus operator. This process is called string concatenation. This is how to concatenate two strings with the plus operator. I like that word. Concatenation. I've never heard that outside of programming. I wonder what that... I wonder if that word even exists outside of programming. It probably does, right? Concatenation. But note this only works with strings. If you try to concatenate a string with a number, you'll get a type error. Oh boy. Oh yeah. I should go to bed before doing the next exercise. This will be a mostly reading stream video. Okay. This happens. Whoopsie daisy. Just trying to do that. You can only concatenate stir, not int dir. This happens because Python does not automatically convert other data types like integers into strings when you concatenate them. Python requires all elements to be strings before it can concatenate them. You convert it with the built-in stir function, which returns a string representation of the given object without modifying the original object. From what I understand, this is useful for if you're doing like an input thing where you prompt the user for input, because if they type numbers in, I think it just counts as a string. It counts as numbers in a string, so you have to turn the number into an integer when you're gonna use it for other stuff. You can also use the augmented assignment operator for concatenation. This is represented by a plus and an equal sign and performs both concatenation and assignment in one step. Here's it in action. Oh, okay. What? Wait, really? I've seen this plus equals thing when you're trying to change like a variable, like make it go up by 1. Like if it's like something like count equals count plus 1, you can just do that by saying like count plus equals 1, I think, or something like that. But this is another way to do this. John Doe, 26, name and age equals name and age plus equals string age. So if you print it, it would be John Doe 26. Oh yeah, with no space. Well, that's interesting. The process of inserting variables and expressions into a string is called string interpolation. inserting variables and expressions into a string. Oh boy. Okay, so string interpolation. Is this string interpolation? No, right? Inserting variables and expressions into a string is called string interpolation. Python has a category of string called f-string, short for formatted string literals, which allows you to handle interpolation with a compact and readable syntax. F-strings start with F, either lowercase or uppercase, before the quotes, and allow you to embed variables or expressions inside replacement fields indicated by curly braces. Here's an example. Huh? What? F, my name is name, and I am age years old. That's really, I don't know, that's very funny. My name is name, and I am age years old. Okay, that's good. Okay, num1, the sum of num1 and num2 is num1 plus 2. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, note how you don't need to convert non-string types with the string function in the example above. The value of age, num1 and num2 variables is converted under the hood into a string during the interpolation process. Okay, it's abstracted, I think is what that's called. Or maybe I'm using that term completely incorrectly. But I'm already learning a whole bunch of stuff I've never heard of though. So I like this tutorial. Although I wonder how much of this stuff is super necessary right away. I've yawned like 6 times since I started this. I feel like I wasn't this sleepy at first. Okay, so interpolation though, that's cool. But I wonder if this is the same thing as in the other tutorial when we were doing like the %s and %d and %f. This is just like a way better way of doing it. Or rather, just a way more readable way of doing it. It might not be better, necessarily. But the syntax looks slightly as confusing. You just put an F there. And just curly bracket things into it. Okay, how could you concatenate? Okay, plus, what is the stir? It concatenates 2 strings. No. Returns a string version of the given object. Replaces the provided characters within a string. What is string interpolation? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, after we finish this section, I think I'm gonna call it and get out of here. What is slicing and how does it work? In a previous lesson, you learned how each character in a string can be identified by its index and accessed using the bracket notation. Yeah. Looks good. That looks great. String slicing lets you extract a portion of a string or work with only a specific part of it. Here's the basic syntax. Oh yeah, this thing. If you want to extract from a certain index to another, you separate the start and stop with the colon. This one starts with E because it's 1 instead of 0, but then it doesn't. Wait, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it doesn't show the 4th character, or it doesn't use the 4th character. The stop is non-inclusive. But the first one is inclusive. And yeah, so it extracted the characters from index 1 and up to, but not including the character at index 4. You could omit start and stop indices in Python multiply to 0 or the end of the string. Here's what happens if you omit the start. The string is 7. Hello. This extracts everything from index 0 up to, but not including the character at index 7. And here's what happens if you do the stop. It just shows the rest. Extract everything from the character at index 8 until the end of the string. Wait, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it does include it when it's in the front. Note that slicing a string does not modify the original string. Oh. I bet you if you did my string equals my string 8 colon 0 nothing, it would modify it. You can also omit the start and stop indices, which will extract the whole string. I imagine there's some use for this. Apart from the start and stop indices, there's also an optional step parameter, which is used to specify the increment between each index and slice. Here's this index for that. Starts at 0, stops before 11, and extracts every second character. Yeah. And so you can reverse a string by setting the step to -1. Colon -1. How do you extract a specific portion of a string? Use parentheses, no. Use curly braces, no. Square brackets with start and stop positions. The outcome would be 0, 1, 2 would be L, L, O. What is the purpose of the optional step parameter? It specifies if it should be the increment between each character. Yeah, cool. Okay, one more lesson and I'm off to sleep. I gotta go home. I gotta go to sleep. Provides a number of built-in methods that make working with strings a breeze. They include but are not limited to upper okay. And one of the advantages of doing this at night is I feel like if I did this in the middle of the day, if I started like studying, I would be thinking about like being done sooner so that I could like do more stuff with my day. But whenever I start like doing programming and stuff before bed, I just like my instinct is to just like if I know it's the last thing I'm gonna do before going to sleep, my instinct is always to like push off sleep. It's just natural to just be like, you know, I want to keep staying up and keep doing it. Or as long as I don't feel super sleepy, I just want to keep at it. I just naturally don't have like the kind of, I'm not as disciplined about putting myself to bed. So I just, I feel like I end up like wanting to, something moved in my house. It freaked me out. I end up wanting to just keep going. But not tonight though. I'm super tired. But yeah, like my instinct to not go to sleep and to stay up and keep working is it works to my advantage when I'm doing something kind of productive like this. Okay. So these are methods. Yeah, so I believe these ones where you do like a variable and then do dot something with parentheses, I think those are methods. I think methods might be a type of function. Returns a new string with all characters converted to lowercase. Yeah, okay, strip returns a new string with the specified leading and trailing characters removed. If no argument is passed, it removes leading and trailing white space. Okay. Trimmed my string. Returns a new string with all kinds of old replaced by new. Replace hello, hi. Hi world. Split separator splits a string on a specified separator into a list of strings. If none is specified, it splits on white space. Okay. Wait, so it splits a string. It just gives you a list with the two strings. Joins elements of an iterable into a string with a separator. So hello world joined. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. The syntax is kind of interesting. Starts with prefix, returns a boolean indicating it starts with a prefix. True. Oh. My string starts with. Okay. Returns the index of the first occurrence of substring or -1 if it doesn't find one. Wait a second. So it ends with suffix. Returns a boolean indicating the string ends with the specified suffix. Okay. Returns the index of the first occurrence of substring or -1 if it doesn't find one. Oh. Okay, I see. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it just tells you where the first letter is. Returns the number of times a substring appears in a string. No, appears twice. I'm not going to remember any of this. Capitalize returns a new string. First character capitalized and the others lowercase. Oh, I didn't know it's lowercase to the other ones. I don't want to be too picky about this because this is a very good tutorial, but I feel like I'd remember these things just slightly better if these little thingies were interactable. If they were like interactive little things, because then I could test out some little questions I have. Is upper returns true if all are uppercase. Is lower returns true if they're all lowercase. Title returns a string with the first letter of each word capitalized. Oh, okay. Which methods check if all are uppercase and if all are lowercase? Is upper, is lower. Two upper, two lower. How can you replace all occurrences of one or more parts in a string with another string? I think that was replace. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm starting to like fall asleep mentally. Yeah, it's replace. Yeah, my brain's moving slow. What does the upper converts all characters to uppercase? Heck yeah. 100. We keep it 100 here. Alright. Employee profile generator. Okay, that's it for me, folks. It's time for me to rock and roll and get out of here and get to bed. So I'll be seeing you in the next one. Maybe I'll be less sleepy and maybe I'll start slightly earlier. I mean, yeah, this is like the earliest I started at 12, but 12:45, 12:44 or something. Now it's 1:41. So I've been here like an hour. It's an hour of this. I'd say that's progress. I'd say I'm doing fan flippin-tastic so far. Anyhow, good night. I'm out of here. I'm out.